Welcome to a Skyrim Addict podcast where I will discuss my adventures and misadventures through Skyrim. Join me. Add your stories, add your tales. Let's get into this thing. And welcome back. Episode 105 of Skyrim Addict podcast. I'm joined by Juan.
Hello.
And Victor.
Howdy, howdy.
And Colin.
Evening, guys.
That's right, it's evening. Yeah. We're spanning half the globe right now. Or like a quarter of it anyway. I don't know.
A quarter of it.
Yeah,
Something
quarter
like
of it, yeah.
Well, the good two halves.
The good two halves.
That's right. The third half's around the other side.
Yeah, that's all right. So some quick show stuff. Of course, we have the charity thing coming up on October 29th, the day after Skyrim releases. 12 hours for Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. All the details are on the website, asapodcasting.com. Also, tomorrow night, I'll be on with Character Crusade.
Yeah, awesome. That's so cool.
Was it Couch Warrior TV, I believe is their YouTube channel.
Yep.
And so I'll be on there with them. And we'll be talking I'm not sure yet. But they're heavy role-playing, which is cool because that's sort of my weakness. So,
that's a good channel there. I've listened to a lot of that.
Yeah. I've started watching some of the videos too. They do a bunch of different things. And so, so I'll be on with those guys tomorrow. And I actually just listened. Two of them did Skyrim book clubs that I happened to listen to during my run today. So that's always there too. So, otherwise, we finally got the specs. I would have to pull them up. I don't recall exactly what they were. Let me pull that up.
Yeah, it's nothing terribly
it wasn't
beefy.
it was less than Fallout 4, wasn't it?
It's just a little bit under Fallout 4, if I remember, yeah. But pretty close. I think, does it say GTX 780 Ti or something like that? Or GTX 780?
Let's see. Here we go. System requirement.
No, I think it was a 4 something.
Yeah.
No, that was the original spec.
Oh.
Yeah. Or the minimum spec, but not the recommended spec for it.
Minimum is 470. Let's see. Recommended is 780.
780, yeah. Which, and if it's 780 Ti, that's pretty darn close to this 970. I mean, it's probably performance-wise, it might be equal or even a little better than the 970. But that should run.
And let's see, 8 gig of RAM and 12 gig of hard drive space. What else?
Does it recommend a processor like an i7 or i5?
i5, 3 gigahertz, 3.1 gigahertz.
Yeah.
So nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
I'm still going to be. I'm still not changing my PC one unless I have to.
I mean, that's a system that if you have the budget or whatever, you could buy for $1,000 or so, maybe maybe a little less than that. I mean, it's not exactly a cheap system, but it's not a really, really expensive one either. Well,
that's good that they went that route. That it's not like crazy over the top. Because it has to run on the consoles, so.
Right.
It's only going to be so taxing.
There's going to be a big unboxing this week.
Yeah.
I'm getting my Xbox One.
That's right. Yeah, you pre-ordered that. Was it the Battlefield one you said?
Yeah, I watched the Battlefield 1 campaign trailer and I thought, man, that looks awesome. So I bought it. I bought the bundle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And of course I ordered Skyrim too.
Yeah.
So.
I just pre-ordered mine this week because I'm going to play my Roundtable one on the Xbox One.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And I'll just save my PC because I don't want to touch my PC one because I have everything good right now.
Yeah. Well, we're still waiting to find out. We're assuming that it's a separate installation, right?
That's what I'm. Yeah. I don't think that has been clarified yet.
Yeah. I'm assuming that it hasn't been clarified because it's so fucking obvious. I mean, so gosh darn obvious. But maybe not. I don't know. You know.
Yeah, I think the problem. What if it was just a replacement and not?
That would be
a problem.
Horrendous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's
there would be screams of agony across the globe.
Yeah.
So, I don't think they would do that.
I would.
I mean, I don't see how it could. I mean, it's a totally different engine, right? So.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'd be playing my new Roundtable character on the Xbox One as well. After what Microsoft done to my computer.
Oh no!
Oh, Windows 10 update. That's right. You still having issues with that?
Yeah, it's still completely. I'm pretty sure they've done it on purpose, so everybody plays their Skyrim on Xbox One.
What are you talking about? The anniversary upgrade?
Yeah, so it's all my all my load screens are ridiculously long, and
that's terrible.
So it's really,
I noticed
really
a little
annoying.
increase myself too, but it hasn't been horrendous.
Yeah, mine have gone up a little bit too, but not anything, not close to console levels.
Yeah, I had the most trouble with audio. I think was what I had the most trouble with.
Yeah, mind you, I'm still nearing on level 50 on my current character, so it's not slowing me down any.
Yeah. Well, it could also is it possible your character save is slightly bloated, and that might be increasing your load times as well? I mean, with a fairly mature character, or was it like that from the beginning?
No, it's. I think it's pretty much the entire build of the character plus what Windows 10 has done to it. So
yeah.
I'm gonna have to clear that, but I'm gonna go with the Xbox for the next playthrough anyway.
Yeah, I can't decide. I'll have to wait and see what the roles are, and then decide what I'm going to do.
I think I'm just going to keep it on the PC. I've done Windows. I've played it on Windows 10 from the very beginning, so I wouldn't notice any difference.
Yeah, it was just the anniversary, the Windows 10 anniversary upgrade. I mean, it was from Windows 10 to Windows 10 basically, but it just seemed to screw around with the system a lot. I lost, I think, 4 of my Let's Plays because, I'm an idiot. You know, I was just making them and everything was fine, and I didn't check after I reset my audio. You know, after I got things working, I didn't really recheck it again, and so I made like 6 or 7 videos, and every single one of them had good video and this for the audio throughout the whole thing. Nothing else. It's like shit. So I got really discouraged, and I haven't gone back to Malachi for a week or so because I got really discouraged by that. So
that sounds painful.
Yeah, it was. So anyway, I got to go back and finish up.
Yeah, I have. Those will be coming out. Collins will be starting to come out this week. Actually, the Mages Guild, because I am finally through the main quest.
Yeah, it was good. I listened to that last episode. That was good.
That was great.
You know, I had never gone around and talked to everybody afterwards, but nobody really gives a shit that you beat out.
I know.
Not at all.
And there isn't even a mod to change that. You can't really do that.
I'm like, maybe they'll all be happy, and they're all like, whatever.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, it's you again.
Yeah. Anything happen? No, nothing big. Just went to Salvengard, killed Alduin. That's all.
Save the world. You know, that's fine.
Somebody did mention you riding on the back of a dragon, though, right?
Yes, I think. It was a random one-off comment or something.
That was the only thing that I heard that had anything to do with the.
Like
what you did.
Balgruff had nothing.
Colin, are you playing through the main quest in your current playthrough?
I am, but for some reason I kept on getting foreshadowed by some guy doing it all wrong by hitting everything with a bow and arrow. I paused and I pretty much figured out where the dragons were coming from. It was these douchebags that were coming over from Solstheim. So I went over to Solstheim and I killed this other guy who was also a dragonborn, and I'm pretty sure I've solved the dragon problem. Well, my character is. He knows for certain that that's where the dragons were coming from, was this other guy and the dragonborn. So he's fixed it.
Excellent. I was wondering if are you using RDO in this playthrough?
Yes.
Have you noticed any differences in the dialogue with the Dragonborn dialogue?
I didn't notice much. No, there's
it's so subtle. It's hard to. Sometimes I forget that I think, wait a minute, I haven't heard that line before. There's one in Windhelm that I think came through RDO that I've noticed recently, and there's a guard at the doors that go out to the docks, right? So if you go by that door, there's a guard standing there, and if you go by it as a Dunmer, he gives you this long spiel about how Skyrim is for the Nords, and you better toe the line or I will kill you. It's pretty good, actually. And then it's a slightly different line if you're an Altmer or something like that. That's a new one. So
what's it? My guy is a Nord, and it was doing kind of like a survival type play where he's camping and using Hunterborn.
Mm-hmm.
But then he was doing the Mara quest over Riften, because that's where he started out from. Because why camp out in the snow when you can camp out in Riften?
Yeah.
I just got to worry about the rain. But he got the Mara quest, and then you have to go and see Cal Selma and go, oh, well, we put that off because that's on the other side of the map. And then we bought a Dwarven Arrow, and then we got a thing, and it was like, oh, right. So that's two things to take us to Cal Selma, the same guy. So we got halfway there, and then we went up the back way around past Hamar Shame, and then got to Helgen, and then shit went down.
It was full of bandits, I guess.
Yeah, because it's alternate start, so we saw Alduin taken off from.
Oh yeah,
from
yeah. Oh,
I've been using Unbound a lot lately, which I've come to like very much. I have two characters in a row now, Malachi and this new one, who are both non-Dragonborn shout users, thanks to Unbound, which is kind of cool. So.
Yeah, he was running with a follower from Interesting NPCs. It was an Argonian that was we found in a cave after just killing a little girl. But it turns out she was an evil vampire, kind of like from the Dark Brotherhood. And she had control of all these necromancers and things like that. And he himself was a vampire, but he's like a vampire assassin type thing.
Oh, cool.
Very interesting backstory. And then I had Dirkethis for a while. And
that sounds familiar. I think I've run across Dirkethis. I just ran across a new one myself.
Yeah, Dirkethis is in Darkwater Crossing.
Oh, okay.
Because you've got two followers there. Dirkethis, where you find inside a Falmor cave. And then there's a woman there that she's used to be an adventurer. And then she got married, but if you help her out, sort of there's these bandits that have been hassling her, and you go kill some bandits. But she has the same voice as Lydia. So I took her around for a while, and her and Dirkethis, and then Dirkethis, and so I had two Argonians following my Nord, and then we went to Helgen, and then we went all through the main quest. And then, as I said, some guy was foreshadowing me through the whole thing, so. Then I got attacked by the two cultists. And at that point, I think, I went to Solstein with Lydia and Dirkethis. And then we got attacked by two dragons because I got Deadly Dragons installed. And Dirkethis ran away halfway through the fight. So
that's funny.
I then took the I had him with me for a while because I like to have two followers at the moment. And with this guy, but after doing some of the gauntlet, I finally got the steadfast dwarven sphere. So I was running around with Lydia and the sphere, and he's awesome. Does a ton of damage with that crossbow he's got on his arm, but he's so noisy.
Yeah.
It's like having a bloody diesel engine with you all day long.
Yeah.
But I had him for a good while, and then I've just picked up, and I've had him for about maybe a week. Rallis Sidaris from the Azadal, the Kilburn Barrow, where you dig out the Dragon Priest.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah.
So I've got him, and I found some Ritual of Boethia armor to put him in. He looks awesome in that.
Nice. I'll bet.
Oh, wow.
And
Is that from a mod or is that actual?
yeah, that's from Immersive Armors.
Oh, nice. Okay, very cool.
It looks really cool. It's actually made. I didn't know when I went to temper it. It's made from dragon scales.
Oh wow.
And was it? We've just landed and started the first quest in Falska.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Excellent.
so I just got through, landed, spoke to the Jarl, and then we're off down to the Priory. So
Cool.
and then I got the note through. Well, I got it late. I missed the first half. Sorry, I was late.
Yeah, I just actually, speaking of Couch Warrior, I was I drove to Florida and back this week, so I listened to almost the entire volume of Couch Warrior podcasts on the way down and back. And one of the episodes is a short build episode about the Trebite monk, and it's an awesome build. So I decided to make the Trebite monk. So she's an Altmer. And it's got some interesting stats. Health only, no magic, no stamina. Health only, but she's a magic user, so she uses cloaks and only daggers. That's it for weapons.
Huh.
So dual wielding daggers.
That is interesting.
It's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun to play. I've only got her up about level 4 or 5 right now, so she's doing the Mages College. But what made me think is world mods. I picked up Somerset Isle, so I stuck that on there. I'm going to try that out, which is huge mod. And requires that you're the Archmage before you even start it. So,
Awesome.
Yeah. The Trebite Monk is cool. Look it up. It's on the Tamriel Vault.
I have to look that up because that seems like a real interesting way to play.
It really is. Yeah. So she's destruction. It's sort of the Trebites were not very. They're in the lore. There's not a whole lot about them. They're basically Altmer. They're the old gods. They worship the old gods, but they also specialize in alchemy and alteration, and they basically do good. They're sort of nomadic monks that go around. They're lawful good, I guess, is the best way to look at them. So it's destruction, alteration, alchemy, not a whole lot of enchanting, and also shouts. So she follows the way of the voice.
Yeah, because you could use with alchemy, you could certainly enhance your magicka quite a bit.
You can do that. You can. As an Altmer, you already gain 50, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So you're up to 150 plus a couple of rings. Within the first quest of the Mages Guild, you pick up the piece of the Galder amulet that gives you 30, and then you pick up one of the enchanted rings that gives you another 20. So you're almost at basically 200 magicka right off the bat. So,
yeah, that is true. Yeah.
And then I took the lady stone, which regenerates health and stamina quickly enough. So it's it's not too onerous. And with Ordinator, it's a little easier to be almost pure mage at the beginning of the game. So
yeah, that's for sure.
It's a lot of fun to play. So I'm looking forward to. I haven't done the Mages Guild in forever.
Yeah, I haven't done it as a pure mage in quite a while.
Yeah. Well, she's not quite pure. Like I said, she dual wields daggers. And the whole one of the mechanics of play is to pick up Whirlwind Sprint at some point so that you can put on a cloak like a flame or a shock cloak, some alteration magic for oak flesh or something like that, and then dash in close and use the dual wielding daggers.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
Huh.
So what school of magic is she focusing on?
Just destruction and alteration.
Destruction, alteration. Alteration's fun.
Yeah, so her name is Inawen Storm, so she's of course a shock mage.
That does make sense. Yeah.
I'm worried about how my guy's going to get Because he wants to get all the shouts. That's kind of what I'm looking to get done. But he's no magic. He can't use magic. He's using abilities that he gained from going to Apocrypha. But shouts are obviously magic, but that's specific to him. But using restoration magic, destruction magic, anything like that, he doesn't do. But I'm worried when you're doing the trying to get the Elder Scroll, you got to use the frost and the fire spell to heat the.
Oh yeah, those two entrances, right?
Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh no, wait. That's in the Mage's Guild quest. Never mind.
Oh yeah, that's in Labyrinthian, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's to get to find out the location of Labyrinthian. Never mind.
Yeah, that's right. That's not.
Yeah, you're following
for nothing.
Savos and his merry band of dead people.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah. Actually, look up in the lore something called the Clever Man, because it's an old Nord. I don't know what the word is, but it's an old Nord style, I guess, in which it's just a small amount of magic, but a lot of Thuum, and which is a form of magic after all, right? So,
yeah,
but yeah, the Clever Man, it's really old. It goes back to like time of Isgramor. I also listen to a lot of what's that podcast? The Elder Lore.
Yeah.
Listen to a lot of that on the way down and back too.
Oh, nice.
So, I have been immersing myself in it in preparation for the re-release. So
yeah, that's true. It has been a while.
What's that?
Me and Juan were thinking that maybe the Dragonborn is a form of bard. Just to ruin everybody's that he's actually a bard, and that's what all his.
And actually, my reasoning behind it is the fact that because of the way Skyrim works, you're not really a master of anything because you don't have a set. Well, per D&D rules, you don't have like a guy who's a magic user. He's not a mage. He's not a healer. He's not a fighter. He's not even like half or half. It's like he just kind of sits there and goes, "Oh, I want to go do this now,"
Yeah.
So there's no real restrictions. So that's more like a bard who they sit there and they're really good at things, but they're masters of none.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, well, I mean, the ancient Nords, in the lore anyway, the ancient Nords weren't quite as loath to use magic as it seems that the more modern ones are. But
well, half your city goes into the water and get a little.
yeah. Hey, there's no proof they had anything to do with that.
That's true. Could have been somebody else.
People who are responsible are always the ones who says, "Hey, prove it."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's true. That's the old me thinks he doth protest too much. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Oh well.
So I think we're gonna. I was gonna say, well, I did join a faction. I joined the companions, but I didn't get very far with it. I think I was near level 30 before I even got to Whiterun. So I got in there and done a first few of the quests, but I got done with Dustman's Cairn, but I didn't get much further than that. I'll have to go back and because there was an interesting PC's quest that I was trying to do, but I think I bugged it. I went into a place I found on the side of the road. I went, "Oh wow, this looks interesting," and stuff happened in there, and I went, "Oh, okay," and then I left. And then it turns out that it's involved with a later quest that I came upon, which is like a big, long quest. And then I got to that part of that quest, which was in this place I went to very earlier on. And now it's bugged. It won't advance.
Yeah, that's one of the things about there's that, I forget what it's called, the big overarching quest that's in interesting NPCs. You really have to trigger it correctly or it doesn't work. At least that's the impression I got. I've never actually managed to get it to go through the whole quest line. So all I've done is do all those little peripheral quests, like the one with Gore and that other the young woman from the other side of Skyrim somewhere. That all of a sudden they're dialoguing. You're thinking, wait a minute, that sounds like somebody else I met. It's really cool. It's so nicely done. But yeah, I just met a new one today, a Khajiit named Kadojo.
I had him as a follower for my Necromancer playthrough.
Oh, okay. I'd forgotten that. All right. He's not bad. He's another sort of wandering priest. So I wasn't going to take a follower, but then when Inouye met him, she thought, oh, yeah, why not? We'll hang out together for a little while. So,
and he's got some great lines.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. He's got some dialogue that triggers at specific locations. I was reading up on him a little bit. So
do you think, because the interesting NPCs, there's a similar one for Fallout 4, right?
Yeah, I forget what it's called, but it's the same guy. Yeah.
Okay, so
Tales
from Wasteland, right?
Tales of the Commonwealth.
Tales of the Commonwealth, not Wasteland. Yeah. So you think I think that's pretty good likelihood that makes it over to the console.
Doubtful. It's so huge.
Oh,
it's
really?
over. It's over. It's like 2.3 gigabyte download.
Yeah, that's way big. Yeah.
In fact, it's so big that you have to manually download it from the Nexus. It exceeds their
limit.
Download link limit.
Jeez.
So, yeah. And now that's not to say that he wouldn't do some. Although I'm sure it'd be really hard. But I don't know if he has the thing modularized, whether he could actually pull pieces out of it.
Do a pared down version of it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So who knows? There's like I posted on the forum, on the group there. I mean, there's a lot more work going on behind the scenes than anybody really knew about until recently. I mean, all these modders, Chesko and Eleonora and Arthmore and several others were, recruited essentially by Bethesda and given advanced copies and NDAs and everything, and they've been working on it since the beginning of August. So to get mods ready for Bethesda.net, and hopefully they're not going to be exclusive to that.
Yeah,
we'll see.
That seems to be a direction they might be heading.
I hope not. I mean, because they're the ones who really. I mean, Bethesda is the gaming company in a lot of ways that sort of spearheaded the whole open modding community. I mean, not totally. I mean, there's lots of it going on with The Sims and GTA 5 and stuff like that too. But I mean, their games have always been so open and available to modders. I just can't see them locking things down like that. It just doesn't make any sense.
But I guess they have to for consoles because of
that part of it, yeah. But to make these mod authors, I can't even, those three in particular Eleonora, who's a notorious crank, that she would agree to do something like that was exclusive to the consoles. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine that she would do that. But you never know, I mean, Tannen, the author of Mod Organizer, got lured away from that. So now that was big news this week. A lot of stuff happened. So
yeah, it is getting close. I mean, we're what, less than like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
yeah,
2 weeks.
So I guess they really want things to be ready to go when they jump off.
Yeah, that makes total sense, right? I mean, and it's good. I mean, Chesko had already talked about updating Frostfall, and in fact, Frostfall 3.2 he just released that on the Nexus just a week ago, maybe, or something, or 2 weeks ago. So, so that must be part of the work he's been doing on it
for consoles.
Yeah, because the console obviously can't use SKSE, so I'm sure he went back and sort of resurrected 2.6, which was a non-SKSE version of Frostfall, if I remember, and probably in doing that, he's worked on 3.2 as well. So, who knows?
Yeah, I think I might, if that's available, I may add that in for my playthrough for the round table.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's a cool mod. It adds all kinds of interesting stuff besides being able to freeze to death.
Yeah, besides dying a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, dying a lot. Yeah. And you can dial it back. It's easy enough. I don't know how that works in the non SKSE/MCM version. I'm sure I don't know how he had that, what the mechanic was for that. It's like the holotapes in Fallout 4. I don't know what mechanic they use, so you can adjust things.
Oh yeah.
But maybe it's a setup. Maybe it's an INI. No, you can't do that on a console either. So I don't know. I don't know how it's adjusted.
That'll be interesting to see. I haven't done too much with the mods on Fallout 4, so it'll be new for me using them on the consoles for Skyrim.
Yeah.
I mean, I did a little bit, but it's been quite a while since I played.
Yeah, I pretty much stopped playing it entirely. I haven't played it in months. So.
Yeah, I think the last thing I added was just some green grass or something. Something like that.
That's good.
Yeah. So I had some green grass and things like that. But yeah. But that's kind of why I wanted to play it on Xbox One anyway, since it was something new and different.
I was watching Pat stream yesterday.
Oh,
it was good. But
he's going to be joining for Skyrim for the first time, I think.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see somebody who's not really into the fantasy thing. How well he likes it.
Yeah, it's definitely a different world.
It's a good way to kind of live vicariously through him.
Yeah.
It's a whole new game.
Yeah, we'll never have that.
No.
Whoa. Again,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you forget stuff, and then when you go back to it, you're like, wow, that's really cool. And then you're like, oh, wait, no, I did do that before.
Yeah.
I just forgot.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I just forgot because I've done so much else in the meantime.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm looking forward to the Mages College, because I haven't done it since Slythe Aaron. I mean, it's been
wow. That was
2 years or something. So, and really, when I did it with Slythe, honestly, I went through it without hardly being a magic user. I mean, he wasn't really a heavy magic user, and you can become the Archmage
without
really
you don't even have to use magic to to become the Archmage.
So with this one, it's more fun because she has to be a magic user. So
right. Well, especially like if you were to do it right now, Michael, since you save the world, whatever, and you're the Dragonborn, you can get in without even doing a spell.
Yeah, you can. You just do a shout. Yeah. Oh, that's how I got in, because I had to get in for.
That's right. Yeah.
The scroll.
That's how Slythe got in too. Yeah, he shouted. Yeah.
Which I didn't realize you could do, because I probably had done it before. I just didn't remember, and I was like, oh, well, I could just shout. That makes sense.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, killing Gyrek Gunderson at level like 2 3/4.
Oh my God!
Easy.
No, it's not.
with little daggers and some puny little shock spells.
Oh man,
it took a while.
Yeah, I bet.
but it was fun anyway.
So I guess we can. We were going to talk about the factions a little bit, since that's going to be coming up. So Mages Guild. I mean, we've all played that. I enjoy the Mages Guild. I don't know if it's my top one, but I think it's at least interesting, and there's some interesting places in the college down in the Midden and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I never have. You know how afterwards you can fight all the magic anomalies all over the place?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever continued on that.
Yeah, I've done it once.
Yeah. Is there like a number you get to and something happens, or is it just you continually fight them? Like Radiant Quest.
Yeah, I think you just go back and speak to Toph there, and he goes, "Oh,
here's
wait,
one.
There's one over here. I go and fight that." But I didn't go back again to get another one because it was
boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this because she's definitely going to want to master alteration, but also because part of the build includes the dagger keening, which you get from the Arniel Gain quest. And I've never done that, so that's going to be fun too. And I don't know if anybody knows, keening is one of the 3 tools that I forget his name now, was going to use on Lorkhan's heart, and that's what precipitated the disappearance of the Dwemer. So it's kind of cool. It's a cool lore connection there.
Huh.
And so keening, there's two others. There was a mace, a dagger, and something else.
Yeah, other than that, trying to think what so the mages, you basically first is Sarthal, right? And then that gets back, and then you have to go to I'm trying to remember.
You have to get some
recently.
books.
Yeah.
You have to go to the Felglow Keep to get
Felglow
books.
Keep, that's right. And then you kind of go back in time, right?
No.
Is
Not
that the
there.
one where you go back?
No.
No, that's the I'm confusing that with the Daedric quest up in Dawnstar, aren't I?
With the miasma.
Yeah.
That's the priest of Mara. What's his name there? Yeah.
Yeah, they up in Dawnstar. I'm confusing it with that. Yeah, Felglow. You go to Felglow, and you get into that library and find the books in there.
And the guy in the prison downstairs. I've never actually managed to get out of there without him dying. But...
Yeah, me either.
And they're using vampires for target practice.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's a pretty gross place, actually.
Yeah.
You go face to face with the caller.
Yes, she's a pain.
Oh, yeah, the caller at the end. And you
Right up at the top of the stairs there? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you choose to fight her, she is tough.
Yes, she is. Very.
Especially at low levels.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, but you can not fight her.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask if anybody's played it that way.
I've done it that way. I did it that way once because I was so low leveled when I got there.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that?
It's like speech prompts, right?
Oh, speech. Okay.
Yeah,
You've got two ways. If you've got a good enough speech, you can talk her out of it. If you get, what was his name? Ondalmar, the guy in the prison cell. If you get him inside, she says, if you give him to me, I'll give you the books.
Oh, okay. I guess I've never made it up there with him alive. So.
Yeah, usually I tell him to stay back, I think.
Yeah, I don't think he ever makes
Tell
it.
him to leave without following you.
Yeah, that's what it is, yeah.
He always dies for me. He doesn't make it very far.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to definitely bring Kadojo in there with me. So, because we're about to do that right now. That's my next thing with.
Oh, okay.
With Inowin. Yeah, and then after that, what you get back, and when does Ancano?
When does he
start
flip? Yeah.
Connect himself to the eye there. It's pretty
Uh,
early on, right? I mean, it seemed to
pretty
me
early.
the first time I did it that it happened awfully quickly. The whole thing just sort of blossoms very fast.
Yeah, you go back and you bring the books back, and then the orc, I've forgotten his name as well.
Urag Groshub.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ureg tells you to go and tell Tolfdir about the book Night of Tears. You talk to Tolfdir, and he's like chatting away while he's walking around the orb saying it's not Falmer, it's not Daedric, it's not Adric, it's really weird. So sort of like, I haven't seen language like this. And then Ancano interrupts you, and you go up, and apparently there's a mage from
Oh, that's the other Sijic.
Sijic
Oh,
monk.
yeah. Who wants to talk to you?
Yeah, and
yeah.
you get there and he freezes time, and
Right.
then he sends you up.
Yeah.
He says you need to seek the Ogre of Dunlane.
That's right. That's when you go downstairs and stuff.
And that's
yeah.
down in the mid.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, and if you want to get yourself a nice Khajiit follower, you've got a Khajiit follower, and you've got a Dunmer follower, and you've got a Nord follower. All mages that you can pick up in the Mages Guild, which is quite nice and convenient. It's not like the Thieves Guild. You go there's about 35 people there, and not one of them will be your follower.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, Slythe married Berlina.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had a mod where I had all three of them following me. I did all their quests, and then I just had all of them as followers.
If you talk to Kajo and get his scrolls, there's a couple of undead down in the midden, so you can do his quest pretty quickly just by going downstairs.
Oh, just go downstairs and do it with the flame cloak or whatever it is.
Yeah, but if you have your game modded, then don't bother, because the the flame cloaks will instantly kill you every time.
Yeah.
I'm using Immersive College of Winterhold for this, which is really nice. I don't know if it has any effect on that or not.
No, it's how much damage they do.
Oh.
So if you have what we call it, deadly combat on, and there's some, I think it's got Revenge of the Enemies and stuff like that. So like the damage those inflict are tenfold. Plus, I only had. I was going all Magicka with that build. So,
I'm trying a new one this time called Ultimate Combat. I've heard of it. It's been around for a long time, but I'd never tried it, so I'm trying that one instead. There's a whole bunch of them. I mean, 2 new ones came out not that long ago. Wildcat, which is by the same guy who does Apocalypse and Ordinator and everything else, and then Vigor, which came out a little before that even.
I think for my next playthrough, it's going to be on the Xbox anyway, so probably won't have one. But even on my next PC, I'm getting rid of interesting NPCs. I think it's just too big. I'm going to have no weather mods because they're just annoying.
Oh man, the weather mods are killer. When it rains, you can't see anything.
Yeah, it depends on the one. I've switched over completely back now to Climates of Tamriel.
Okay.
I loved Vivid Weathers, but yeah, that and True Storms it was too much.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Colin, I interrupted.
Was it? There's one where it's when it's raining and has a storm out. You have like howling wind, and they have it so if you go indoors, you can still hear the wind howling past. I was like 2,000 foot below sea level in a Dwemer ruin, and that wind was still howling. Do you mind, please? But yeah, they just started getting on my nerves for all the weather mods. So and remote and I think I'm going to get rid of my combat mods as well because they're good. But I was doing the I've forgotten as well. It's the Deathbrand armor quest over in Soulstein.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, Revenge of the Enemies, he had 30 pirates with him, not just 8.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And all of them were masters of whatever they done. So all the ones who were doing archery all were masters of archery, and all of them who had two-handed were all masters of two-handed. So it was a bit ridiculous at times of how much damage they wouldn't take and how much damage they would inflict.
Yeah.
It's just annoying. So
that sounds like As Is too. It has a tendency to do stuff like that. There are, but like for instance, Combat Evolved is completely unscripted. It's all vanilla asset. So that one might in fact end up over on the consoles, but not ones like Deadly Combat. So you never know. I don't know if Revenge of the Enemies is scripts or if it's just changes the whatevers.
Yeah, I think it just adds new enemies and it gives enemies new abilities.
Right.
So you have different types of Draugr, and all Draugr have shouts and stuff like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I got sick. In fact, I got rid of weather mods for the audio playthrough because I figured it would just cause even more problems with people trying to listen to it, and with all the storms and rain.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. So I went to something called Real Clouds that just adds some volumetric, cloud effects, but doesn't change the weathers. So it was just for my own pure visual enjoyment.
The only problem with my audio playthrough is like the 8-minute silences of where I'm saying absolutely nothing. Don't worry, everybody else does. So it's like when you're talking to NPCs. So sit there and I talk to the NPC and sort of chat away and have a good old conversation.
Yeah,
the wind's howling behind me and sort of people just sitting there, standing there having a chat for 10 minutes.
What I had to do with my I hope it's not too confusing. I tried to explain it early on, but the enhanced Skyrim factions, which I'm using for the Companions quest, adds a lot of dialogue, but it's unvoiced. So I'm having to read it, and so I'm and Ayla said, there's a few of those. So, but it actually some of it's really good. So it's worth the
having
listen.
in there.
Yeah. I think he did a lot of thinking about, fleshing it out and sort of explaining things a little beyond the sketchy way that Bethesda handles some of its lore.
Yeah, because I really like the companions.
Yeah, it's a good quest line. I do too. I don't like becoming a lycanthrope, but other than that,
I wish you didn't have to.
yeah.
But
I won't give away anything, but ESF has anyway. There's an alternative in there.
Alternate route through that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good.
You found it?
What's that?
And you is that the route that you took on?
I haven't completed it yet, so I can't say.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because unless you cure yourself, you're stuck as a werewolf.
Yeah, I think I maxed it out once.
Oh, did you? I've tried. I think one time I kept the werewolf and just went around eating everybody, and it took like a long time.
When I did it, basically I would just kind of run, find some people, kill them, and then you consume them, and then that makes it last longer. So you just keep on going. Basically, I ended up over by the College of Winterhold at the end, and when I was coming back, the Khajiits that travel back and forth selling stuff.
Oh yeah.
I found their decapitated bodies over by one of the just past the first fort that you run into. There's a delve over there, and there's just some decapitated bodies, and they were all dead. I'm just like, ew. Oh man, now I don't have these guys to buy stuff from.
Or eat.
Yeah. But no, I was just like, wow, okay. Because you just kind of run into people and attack them and kill them because there's no dialogue, there's no nothing. You it's almost like you have this like blurry type tunnel vision going on, and
pretty much.
So and you just keep going, and basically I was just concerned with maintaining and just so that I could max it out. And so
it's kind of hard to role play. I mean, once you get to that point, right? I mean, I think I did it once and tried to get some perks in the werewolf tree, but I just wasn't very satisfying.
Yeah, it didn't really work well for me either. I got to admit. And I tried it a few times. Even the vampire one just didn't do it.
I really hated the vampire. Yeah. I did not like that. I did that for the Necromancer Roundtable. And
that's right. You were,
and I did not like it at all. I don't ever want to be a vampire again.
It just doesn't seem like you're as powerful as you should be.
It wasn't even that. It was just, for me, it was just so depressing. It really was. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So companions, of course, one of the other factions. That's good. I would say that's probably one of my least favorite, but I still enjoy it. But I don't think it's as fleshed out as like Thieves Guild.
Which one?
Companions.
Oh, companions. Yeah. I mean, it should be, right. I mean, it's deep in lore.
Yeah, but, you would think it would be more to it. Yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't really.
Yeah. Well, I think the whole thing is the whole companions thing is almost like the companions themselves, this type of attitude where it's just like, we'll help if there's money in it, or there's no, they have like no real purpose except for I guess being mercenaries is almost about as close.
Well, that's what this ESF mod tries to help along a little bit by explaining some stuff. I can't quote some of the text he added in, but a lot of it makes sense. And he directly addresses that line that I hate the most that Ayala says at the very beginning there, we're companions and honor as long as the cash is good enough. It's like, good Lord, what an awful line. But he kind of addresses that. So it makes sense.
Yeah. I almost wish they were like, I don't know, more heroic and less mercenary.
Mm-hmm.
And,
and they're supposed to be, I think, right?
Yeah, that's kind of the feel you get when you meet them and they're taking down the giant, or when you're first going into Whiterun there.
Yeah.
or wherever you happen to run across them, and it's like, oh, okay, they're doing good, they're helping the town, but it doesn't really feel that way once you talk to her. So,
Yeah, it's like, okay, we did this. Where's our money?
yeah.
Yeah, and the hired muscle fetch quests that they give you, those I usually refuse those.
Well, you had to like kill a bunch of skeevers in the one, and
those aren't bad. Yeah, I just don't like going out and beating people up.
That's right. Yeah, you have to beat people up because you can't kill them, and
Yeah, I had to go save Bellathor once.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that's right. I did too. Yeah. Yep. And Kust too. I escorted Kust back from his imprisonment at Valtheim Towers.
Oh, okay.
He's Runel's helper, at the graveyard in Falkreath.
Yeah.
It's nothing like the Fighters Guild from like Oblivion or
something. That's what I was hoping it would be more like.
Yeah.
Where you feel like you're a part of each town almost.
Yeah, that was actually pretty nice too. Where each town had its own mages guild that you would join, and you had to actually do something to join each separate one. It's not like, well, I joined this other one, so let me in, and they're like, well, here, prove yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. That's one of the things I do miss. Like, I wish there was some kind of presence in each town or each major town for the guild, whatever you want to call them, factions or guilds or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I mean, you have the wizards, right, in each court and all that, but
yeah, I mean, even like the Thieves Guild, they have the fences in every town once you basically claim ownership of the town.
Yeah.
Which is something that's so much of a pain in the ass to do.
Yeah.
But mods help. I was reading somewhere, I was reading something on Reddit. Somebody had done like 125 of the Radiant quests or something.
Wow.
And like, I don't know, they got something else for it or something. I don't know. I don't know if it was a mod or something, but I have to read more on it. But because I did pick up the mod that gives you like basically a checklist and let you pick your town for those quests. So you're not randomly just like, all right, I hope I get Whiterun.
Yeah, Thieves Guild Requirements mod does that too. You can set all that stuff up in the MCM, and you can set up what level you need to be in lockpicking or pickpocket, and how many things you need to have stolen before Brynjolf will actually say something to you. So you can set it so that he's not going to accost you, at level 1 when you first enter Riften. It's kind of silly.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense because I've gone there pretty low leveled, and he's like, "Hey, come on,
yeah, lad."
Yeah, you look like you've never worked an honest day in your life. And I probably spent maybe about 45 minutes, because sometimes I'll do my first playthrough. I go down to the first little town, and I just chop wood to make enough gold so that I can get some gear that I want and stuff that I want. So I just sit there, chop wood, and sell it. And then when I have gear that I like, then I move on.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. It takes me about 45 minutes to an hour of just chopping wood, and I'll end up with maybe 2,000 gold at that point.
Wheat is good too. You can get some good cash for wheat.
Right.
I
was gonna say, since you don't have to really make any potions, but I think Michael probably could have used some in his last playthrough.
Oh my god, it was the only time I've ever played the game and not had potions.
I know. I was just like, wow. How does he not have potions? Don't they usually like pop up here and you get
everywhere,
like, and then stamina, right?
Yeah, of course. When I needed them, there were none to be found. I'm like, these things are like everywhere, and now there's none. Like, what? How is this possible?
It's the game screwing with you. It knows.
Yep.
Because I didn't really.
It's like the muffled boots.
Yeah, the muffled boots. Yeah, because I didn't really do anything else but the quests for the quest line. So I never really went and did anything, so I never found anything. And then all of a sudden I'm in Skuldafn, and I'm like, I have like no arrows, no.
Yeah, it never occurred to me that you could actually go through there without even. You didn't? Did you? I forget. You do have to kill the priest, right?
No, you actually don't. I've gone through there without killing the priest before.
Okay. Yeah.
But I did this time, but you don't have to. I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Oh no,
Yeah, I
no,
thought
no.
you
Wait,
did.
do you? I'm trying to think.
Don't
He
you have to
has
get
the
his
staff.
You need
or
a
something?
staff.
Sometimes he leaves it
Yeah.
in there and open,
Yeah.
so if you can sneak past him while it's still open.
I
But if he
think-
picks up the stuff, it closes the
Yeah.
portal.
I think that's what
But
I've done before. I've done it where he's still up there and it's still in. And
Right.
when I was like super high level like illusion mage and I was invisible, so I just snuck right past him and went right in.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, the only reason really to kill him is if you're trying to get all the masks.
yep,
Yeah, it's not Kreen or something like that, or
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have the 2 dragons; those you can just avoid. Actually,
yeah, that
3
didn't occur to me either.
dragons,
I think I figured, well, I got to kill everything, so it's
Well, yeah,
They
you
don't.
should-
They don't attack you anyway.
the dragons don't.
No, the dragons don't. They're seeing what you'll do.
Okay, I don't remember. It's been so long since I've done that.
Yeah, they're going to see if you or Alduin win. They let you go on. The two
Oh, do they?
that are sitting on the side of the dragon priest, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't.
Yeah,
Attack
they don't
you?
attack you. They let you walk.
So you mean I should stop shooting at them?
Yes.
Okay, good idea. Well, that's my fault then. See, it wasn't the dragon's fault. That was my fault.
Yep.
Yeah, they just sit there and watch you kill the priest.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. They didn't really come down when I didn't go after them. That's a good point. See,
Yeah, imagine trying to fight all 3.
oh, I have before. It's terrible. Yeah, it's fun.
He did.
It is fun.
Yeah.
I was going to say, no, it's gone. No, that's what I was going to say. I'm not using any magicka, so I'm using up all the health potions I can, and sort of literally running out all the time. And was it Lydia and Rallis drink them down like they're bloody, cans of bloody Diet Coke or something. And although Hunterborn adds some serious stuff to alchemy, I've got
It does.
I've got a potion now that I think it's bear heart and bear eyes, polished bear eyes,
Yeah.
and troll heart, and where I've done my alchemy tree in Ordinator, I've got a potion that fortifies my health by 300 and something for 300 seconds.
Nice. Yeah.
And regenerates health 200 times faster for 300 seconds. So,
have you made any of the poisons? There's some awesome poisons that he added in there too.
I have got a bow and arrow. I'm not leveling up very fast because I'm not using any of the magic. So I'm 100 in smithing and alchemy, heavy armor, one-handed, and I'm almost there on block. I'm for like 97 or something like that on block. And but I don't use many of the poisons because I do have a bow and arrow, but I'm not much of a poisoner or not much of an archer, so I don't take a lot of shots with that.
Yeah. If you get did you set Hunterborn to gather? I think it's the corporeal dragons setting. You can turn it on or off because you can gather dragon's blood, and you can gather troll's blood, like you already said, troll's blood, but.
I'm not getting any dragon blood. I'm only getting dragon bones and scales.
Look in the MCM. I think somewhere in the last page of the MCM, there's a. Let me actually. I can look at it right here. There is a setting.
I'm actually on Falscar now, and they have no dragons. So I had to turn assault off because obviously the lore is that there's no dragons on Falscar. So.
Yeah, if you go to the MCM and look down, there's a setting called Monster Hunter, and if you enable Monster Hunter, then there's a setting for corporeal dragons, and that'll allow you to gather a dragon heart and dragon's blood and stuff like that.
No, I left it off because they burn up. So I thought, well, no, they burn up. They're not going to leave any guts or anything like that. So
that's right.
they'll leave scales and bones. So I'll have that, but all the other stuff. They burn up, so I won't have it.
In mine, they're not burning up because I'm not taking souls, so I figured that was.
Oh yeah,
that's cool. But that makes sense for the role play. Anyway,
I was thinking
awesome.
When we were talking about the Mages Guild there as well, I was thinking I'm going to go do Bethardums at some point. If I get Spellbreaker. Would I be able to use that to be able to get through the Tolfdir quest right at the start where he shoots the flame bolt at the ward, so I can get into Sarthal, because there's a shout in there I want, but I don't want to do a magic spell.
You want to get into Sarthal to get the shout? That's it's the ethereal or something like that. Is that the one that's in there?
Yeah, it's ice form.
That's right. Okay, ice form. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I don't know. I was trying to figure out how to get into High Hrothgar without being a Dragonborn, and that's, I think, almost impossible too.
Oh, I've never tried that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just go up there in the beginning.
Yeah, I've tried it. And of course, it's locked and requires a key. But I don't know if there's a way in.
Huh. I've never actually tried that.
Because
there's no way around either.
Yeah, I guess you can. Well, there are ways of getting through. There are ways, because it's one of the mechanics that the what do they call them? The people who the speed gamers.
Yeah,
guys who do like Skyrim in 45 minutes. And that's one of the places where they use these mechanics where you like pick up a pail or something like that, and if you hold the pail in front of you, it'll help you clip through a wall.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Right. So you can do that and get into High Hrothgar that way. But of course, I don't know how. Yeah. And so anyway, I think I watched a speed run once, but I don't remember how he did that and what happened when he got in there, because you have to interact with them somehow. Right. So I don't know.
Yeah. I would think you would have to.
I mean, and if you're doing a speed run of the main quest, you're going to be becoming the Dragonborn anyway. But I don't know why they have to go in there early to do something, to set something else in motion,
so that it happens quicker. I guess.
Yeah. So when they come back, it's faster. I don't remember, but there is a way in. But yeah, because Malachi, my companion's guy, is also he's a devout follower of Kinnereth, so he's definitely a follower of the Way of the Voice. So he's using the passive shouts, but he meditates. He has to meditate for 24 hours straight in order to learn the shout. He's almost starved to death twice because it needs mods. So, but that's fun. I mean, it's a good way of doing it. It's a good role play. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh, did you listen to the latest Character Crusade? They were talking about the dice rolling for
the story cubes,
random events. Yeah.
Those sound really awesome.
I was incredibly interesting. Yeah,
it's probably a lot more than we want to do for the roundtable at this point.
Yeah,
but they're a lot of fun. They'd be a heck of a lot of fun. The other thing that they do that I thought would be a lot of fun for us to do is share a game.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how they're doing it, but I was trying to think of ways that we could do it. We'd have to have, especially if it was modded, it would be easiest on the PC, obviously.
Yeah.
And we'd have to have identical mod lists and so on. But it's conceivable that we could do that with however many people, and each person plays, I don't know, for 2 hours or whatever, and just does what they do, and then emails the save on to the next person. It might be fun. So, but yeah, they did that. What they called it? He called it a 3-play or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have to pick their brains tomorrow.
I think they might all be local to each other, so that might be how. I don't know.
Yeah, they're up in Minnesota.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I wasn't sure if all three of them were in the same area or.
Yeah, I think from what I gather, they've known each other. Those guys have known each other. All known each other since they were in high school or something. So.
But yeah, if you could you could just send the save back and forth and do it. I don't see why not.
Yeah.
So did they play the same character?
I don't know. I didn't watch that video series, so I don't know how they actually did it.
Okay.
But they're worth checking out, Juan. If you haven't checked out his stuff, the guy who started it, Stu, is a really good role player.
Yeah.
He's not so much of an actor. I mean, his first big long sequence wasn't really an acting role play, but it's very well thought out. But he's doing one now called Rune Runner, which is a lot of fun.
Okay, and what are they called?
Couch Warrior.
Couch Warrior.
Yeah, I think it's Couch Warrior TV on YouTube. I think that's their channel.
Yeah.
And the podcast is Character Crusade.
Yeah.
If you search Skyrim, it's like one of the couple that pop up.
Yeah, it's pretty much the top of the list along with Skyrim Addict and
Yeah.
a couple of others. Yeah. So.
Zoomcast always up there still.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. Many years later.
Well, send my greetings along to them and tell them I'm a big fan.
Definitely. Yeah. I think it's at 6:30 tomorrow. I don't know if that's
cool.
Eastern or Central, but
Are they going to do a live stream?
Yeah, they're live. Yeah, they do it live. So I believe.
Yeah, I like to consume my podcasts in audio. So
yeah, me too.
So I'll wait until they put it up.
Yeah, so I'll make sure I post it and all. What was it? Oh, Thieves Guild. I just run through the Thieves Guild actually, relatively recently, so that was pretty good. I like it because I like sneaking.
Yeah,
but Colin, since you played two-handed, like, how do you approach the thieves generally? Since you prefer more of a macho style of play,
brawler style. No, when I do go through, I mean, the first time, I played my very first character. I was like running all over Riften trying to find out how the quest that gets me and my old to go into the Thieves Guild and absolutely kill everything that moved. But I couldn't find that quest, and I was like, no, they couldn't be this stupid to have a gang of thieves living below a city and not give the hero of Skyrim the chance to murder everybody and sort of paint their town with the blood. No, they wouldn't do that. But yeah, of course they did. So I think it was my second character that I played through the Thieves Guild because my first character, did get the chance to murder the entire Dark Brotherhood and paint the town with their blood, which was fun. But they wouldn't let it do with the thieves. Second character, he was a high elf when he done Thieves Guild and he done. The Dark Brotherhood, and he was a mage. Which is weird because the companions bugged on me on my very first playthrough, so I couldn't get past a certain point. So my Altmer mage, sneaky thief, assassin, done the companions. That was my first time playing through the companions, was as a sneaky mage assassin, which was fun. But yeah, I do sneak and sort of I've done all the quests and got him in and out without killing anybody and sort of invisibility spells or invisibility potions, things like that. But I don't really enjoy the thieving and the sneaking around. I actually have a plan for a new character. I'm gonna look to see what I get in my draw for my for my roundtable character.
Yeah.
But there's one I want to do, and he's going to be I don't know what race he's going to be, but he's going to be a conjuration and illusion specialist, and he's going to. I got the idea from your playthrough. The Necromancer playthrough, doing the Dark Brotherhood, but he has absolutely no shame and no intent of hiding. So he's just going to walk around everywhere and just summon something up and then start blasting people with fury and things like that. So he'll literally walk into the town of Whiterun and he's going to go and he has to kill this person. So he's just going to set everybody to fear and summon something up and literally in full view of everybody.
Just mayhem.
Yeah. So all the things of where they say, go in there silently, no, don't let anybody see you. Sort of get out, get in, get out, and sort of no, none of that. Just walk in and just the entire town attack and kill itself. So I'm gonna go for, and that's what. But I'll see what I get for the round table. If I can't do it with the round table, I'm gonna sort of put that and play that as a secondary character.
Oh man, that's good. That's good. Illusion is so powerful though when you get higher leveled. Oh my gosh! Between being invisible and frenzy and all those, it's especially like when you're going through Dragonborn and there's all like 100 Reeklings down in a cave, and you just fire off that spell, and then they all start killing each other. It's like
they suck something off, and they hit like a bastard.
Oh yeah,
they were giving me some serious trouble.
I'll bet.
Especially when they all gang up on you. But so yeah, he's not going to hit anything. He's not going to physically hit anything. He's never going to carry a weapon with him or anything.
That's a great way to play. I love playing like that.
Yeah, he's just going to summon something up, and then probably hopefully when he gets leveled up, turn himself invisible, have muffle on, and then in robes, and then running away quite a lot, and then try like using fear and fury and try and get a few things out of his way, see what he can complete and how much trouble he can get in and get out of.
Calm is amazing too.
Like
yeah, Calm is great. Like if a bear's running at you, and you just hit it with it, and it just like, whoop. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like that. I like the Kind's Peace shout for that.
That's that's very good for that.
It's with all the ingredients I'm getting from animals now. Kind's Peace is not getting a lot of use. It usually gets a shit ton of use in all of my playthroughs, but it's not getting any use any now because I'm killing and harvesting everything.
You didn't load Thunderchild in, did you, Colin?
No,
that's a really excellent shout mod. Again, by the same guy who does Ordinator and Apocalypse.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about installing another one that you mentioned a while back, but not for the reason why you installed it. There's another part of the quest, and Honed Metal you were talking about and you were loving.
I love Honed Metal.
Where you pay a smith to hone your metal, and sort of like, the better the smith, the better he makes the weapon and sort of like what he can get it up to. But there's the other half of it is that you can pay mages to enchant your armor.
Yep. Yeah.
And my guy, no magic, and he's just made himself a whole new set of it is Dragon Knight armor, and it is beautiful. It's basically the same design as the Ebony, but he's shifted it so it's in dragon plate.
Oh, nice.
So use this, and it's got the helmet is the Ebony helmet, but he's like obviously colored with the Dragonbone color, and he's opened up the visor so you can see the eyes through the visor.
Oh, nice. Is this from Immersive Armors?
Yeah. You have to get the level 90 with Ordinator perk in smithing, and it's a beautiful set of armor. But obviously, it's massive armor. It's like gives me a lot of protection, but I can't bloody enchant it. I can't buy something the equivalent to this with enchantments. I could go a step down. I'm finding a lot of I've forgotten the name of it, Stalrim stuff and Ebony stuff that's enchanted. Yeah, but it's just not. It doesn't look as good as this stuff. So
yeah, Honed Metal is awesome. It's such a completely, I guess you'd call it lore friendly mechanic. I mean, after all, it's something that's already done in the vanilla game, right? I mean, what's his name up at the Mages Guild enchants stuff for money. So,
but he just won't enchant anything for you, which really infuriated this mod author. I was reading his page. It really infuriated him.
Yeah.
That is annoying. I wish there was, and I know there's mods for it, but I wish there was a vanilla mechanic where you could pay people to, smith your gear and also enchant your stuff.
Yeah. Well, I don't know this model actually come over to consoles or not. It might. It's pretty well supported, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there is that guy at the Mages College who is contracted to enchant stuff. So I don't see why they didn't just kind of go a step further and make it so that you could actually purchase or have him enchant something for you. And he says, "Well, come back in 24 hours and I'll have it done
exactly.
or something."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No, they should have. But again, I mean, the game was, tuned for consoles from the beginning, so they probably it's one of those things they left out to make it
a little simpler,
lower overhead.
That's possible.
He was saying that the better the smith, the better the weapons, and the better the enchanter. And I've just done all of Neloth's quests, So hopefully Nelith is like, the mech daddy of enchanting. I can get him to make me some peerless stuff.
Nice.
He should be. He's got the staff making machine over there, and
he does. And I can't use any of it. Oh, and I have Apocalypse spells installed, which just like, just screwing with myself. So all the mages and all the bloody whatever they have all these awesome spells and keep on flinging me across the other side of the room. And I keep on reading all these scrolls of what all these scrolls. Like there's one where it summons this orb of heavy mass that lifts everything around it, like gravitational pulls things up into the air next to the orb, and it can't move, and you just like destroy it. I want to use that. No, you don't use magic. So I think I'm gonna that other playthrough, if I can, I'm gonna try and get Apocalypse spells in there and use that with my illusionist conjuration good.
Yeah, it's recently updated again. It's up to 9.16 now.
Wow.
Yeah, he's pretty much. I think he said on there that this is the last major upgrade, and it's just minor stuff from now on. He's not going to be doing any more updates of it.
I don't. The guy with Hunterborn, I don't know whether he's still doing tweaks to that, but I sent him. I think I posted on the page, the forum or whatever. Is that like thanks? It's an awesome mod. I just want to say, is there any way that if you do ever update it, is putting in the MCM where you can choose not to harvest things anymore? Because I don't need any more troll skulls or big bones and stuff like that. So can I have it so, when you're going to choose something, I only take the alchemical ingredients and not all the bones and stuff?
Yeah, it would be nice if it presented you with a little. You wouldn't even have to change the MCM. Instead of doing that, would just have a pop up window, like like a loot window, essentially. Instead instead of just automatically giving it to you. Well, I mean, the last update was 13 March 2016, so I think he's still working on it. So I'm just looking at it on the site right now.
Because sometimes I get 2 troll skulls. So.
Well, those trolls, they're pretty fucking.
Sometimes they have 2 skulls. That just happens.
Yeah, 3 eyes, 2 skulls. Yeah. Yep.
Sorry, we were talking about the Thieves Guild before I came off on my diatribe.
Oh, yeah, Thieves Guild, yeah. Well, I just played through it. I enjoy it. I like finding out about, not to spoil it for anybody who hasn't played yet, who might be playing in the future. It's a good long quest line.
Yeah, it is.
They're really tied into a lot of the town, which is nice. I feel like they're a real part of Riften, whereas like the companions are just kind of have a house in Whiterun. They're not really part of the town.
Yeah, even though it was there before Whiterun was. Supposedly.
Yeah,
you don't really know that.
Yeah, it's just weird. But like the Thieves Guild seems really important to Riften itself. It feels like it's a real thing, but that and they're tied into the government of Riften, obviously.
Yeah, I also like the tie-in with the Dark Brotherhood and that, sort of moving it along to other factions as well. I like that because I haven't done the Dark Brotherhood in a long time, but I think that might be my favorite of them all.
I do really like that. I like even how it just jumps off, how you're just all of a sudden taken.
Yeah,
that's always good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have the choice to be a bad character because you actually have to do a bad action before you even join that faction.
Yep.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, you don't just automatically end up in it. Yeah, it would have been nice if there was a way to break up the Thieves Guild.
In the vanilla, do you get attacked by members of the Dark Brotherhood just randomly, or is that? Mm-hmm. Okay, I wasn't sure if that was just the mods that was doing it.
No, you do. Every once in a while, like you'll see them if you're coming down the road. They're like squat off to the side of the road, and you're
like they're really hiding.
Yeah, like well, there's an assassin.
What's that dark spot over there?
Yeah.
Like a person moving towards me.
Yeah. What is going on here? It seems fishy.
Yeah. I do.
Unless you want to have those bloody weather mods going, you can't see anything.
Yeah, well,
right in your
that
face.
is a good point. Yeah, you can't see 4 feet down the road, so
Yeah. I actually have a character in the wings that he's the one I've been using for my little modding videos. So Will Hawthorne.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to restart him. He's a thief, but I'm going to use this guild starter mod and sort of try to role play a competing thieves guild.
Ah, nice.
So I don't know quite how that's going to work out, but
I wonder if it's related to the one from what is it, Windhelm?
What's that?
The competing thieves guild.
Oh no, I'm just going to create it out of nothing. I mean, Guild Starter is just Guild Starter allows you to create your own guild of anything.
Oh, very cool.
You can make a guild of cowbuggers if you want to. It's just whatever.
So that's what Andrew needs so he can create his own Bards College.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So yeah, you can do bards or. Whatever.
You better tell Freddie and Greymane to look out for her cow.
Oh man,
Pictures on the loose.
Yeah. Well, those Bosmer, they get lonely over in the Valen Woods. So.
Oh, it's probably lore friendly. So
Totally. Yeah, it happens all the time.
Oh God.
These remote rural environments that just,
What, New York State?
Exactly. Yep.
Oh, man. I guess the other one is the Assassin, or Dark Brotherhood.
Yep.
Dark Brotherhood.
Which you can choose to either blow it up, and it's a very, very quick quest, or you can immerse yourself in it, and it's quite a long, interesting quest, actually.
Yeah. I think my first playthrough, I killed them all, and then I was just like, oh, now I can't play that quest line anymore.
yeah, exactly. And they got a nice hideout, and there is some of the creepiest scenes in the game come from that.
And a couple of the best lines, too. I love the password lines for the doors.
Yeah, yes, that is true. I like that you can't guess them ahead of time. There's no way in ahead of time.
Right, yeah.
Doesn't even give you the option.
Yeah. What's his name? Nazim?
Yeah.
I like his sarcasm.
Nazir, sorry.
Nazir.
Yes, Nazir. Nazim is the guy we all love to hate.
Yeah. He's the Preston Garvey of Skyrim.
Yes, he is. Yeah. The Preston Garvey. Oh, man. And then, you run into some people from the guild along the road sometimes outside of a farm with a flat tire.
Yeah. Well, I know I've run into Babette out in the wild.
Oh, I have too. It's so weird.
Yeah. Out in the middle of the night, and she's just like,
she's pretty creepy.
Yeah, stop feeding or something like that.
Do you run into her before you start the quest line, or do you only run into her after?
After you finish it.
After you finish it, okay.
Because you actually recognize her.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I don't remember ever running into her where I haven't been like through the quest line or deep into it or something,
Right.
She's not like Deacon, right? So
yeah,
she's
just showing up. Yeah, he'll be dressed as a tree next to you, and you don't even realize it.
Right, yeah. Yeah, no, I do like the Dark Brotherhood. I it's again like so many of them. It has like all this potential in it, and it reaches most of it. But the conclusion of it leaves you kind of somewhat unsatisfied.
Yeah, I agree. I wish there was a little more at the end.
Yeah. Well, a little better tie-in or some kind of interesting, ironic twist or something. But
right.
And
plus the fact that you have to use your own gold to build up the new.
Yeah.
They're like, well, you just made 50,000 gold. How would you like to rebuild our place?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, I actually already have a house, so.
Good luck with that, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess that's part of it. Perhaps since all of the quest lines pretty much end up that way, and there's so little interaction with them in the game. There's no acknowledgement, like you were saying at the beginning. There's no acknowledgement once you save the world, and you can't really kill Alduin, but you've come as close to killing him as possible, and everything else, and you're still just like they're sneering at you, or I think that maybe that's part of the design choice of making it as open a game as possible. I mean, if there's too many loose ends tied up, then you don't have as much openness to the game and the role play as you might otherwise. So, maybe it was a conscious design choice on their part.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have everything, I guess. So the openness is what you get for sacrificing some of that.
Yeah, that's what some people respond negatively to about the game. I beat it in 3 hours. That game sucks. They move on to Doom or something. That's fine. Whereas if you take it for what it is, an open book, it's the possibilities are infinite.
Yeah. And then you can take a character and do whatever you want, and continue to do whatever you want long down the road too.
Right. Yeah.
I know a guy who said he quit playing Skyrim, couldn't handle it because he couldn't hit people on the other side of the horse.
Come on, which you can, of course.
Yeah, you just press block.
Yeah. Press the other key.
It's like you did probably press and block because you can't block on a horse.
Was he playing on console?
Yeah.
Yeah.
PS2, PS3, whatever it was. PS3.
Wow.
Okay.
Just for that one reason.
Skyrim doesn't miss him.
Okay. Man.
All right.
Hey, to each his own. It's an interesting reason to rage quit.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Well, I guess that's our factions and other stuff. A lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks, we'll be back for the beginning of the round table.
Oh my God!
I can't believe it. It's coming back.
Yes, it is.
The way I was babbling earlier on. Do you think I've missed doing Skyrim roundtable? Just a tad.
I know it's. Oh man, I'm ready to get back in.
It's kind of like a drug. Once I started talking about it, I couldn't stop. I just wanted to go, I'll tell you about this bit. And then I'll tell you about this bit. And then that bit, you don't really care about it, but I'm going to tell you about it anyway.
That's why we have Andrew to keep everybody in line.
Yeah. Which, it's his birthday today.
That's right. It is Andrew's birthday today.
Yeah, you'd think he'd be here. I mean, come on.
What kind of lazy ass goes out and celebrates his birthday?
Him and his loved ones. What's he thinking?
Crazy. Jeez, should be here talking.
So what I'm wondering is, does anybody know, is he planning on rolling the characters before we do our roundtable episode or during?
I think we're doing it that day, as far as I know. But I mean, we can figure that out.
It was during because that's only like 2 days after, right? Or
it's the next day.
It's 1 day.
Yeah, it is a whole day after. Yeah,
a whole day.
Yeah.
You can beat Skyrim in that time, right?
Yeah,
yes,
totally.
yeah, sure.
45 minutes, man. That's all it takes.
I'm excited to see what it looks like on console. I am concerned I will be incredibly frustrated by the load screens.
Well, I hope not. I mean, again, if it's a little more efficient with the new engine, theoretically, it should be quicker load screens. It's a more powerful system too. So
it should be. We're all hopeful of that.
I would imagine that it may be like Fallout, maybe a little better since it's not
a little better.
Yeah, the Fallouts are moderately long, right? I mean,
they're not as long as the Skyrim ones were, though. Yeah. Those were crazy.
What I was a little annoyed about is I had a look on thing to buy the physical copy, and the place near me was selling it for $39.99. But then I also wanted it on the day, so I had to look at how much it was to get on like Xbox One. Just order it through the store, and it was $49.99.
Wow. Huh.
Oh, it's better than. Oh, that's euro though, right?
No, not euro.
Euro.
Pounds. Okay, so it's going to be
Brexit, anyone?
Jesus.
Yes, let's talk about politics.
No, it's not. Sorry, I didn't mean it. Sorry.
But yeah, for an extra £10, I was like,
Wow.
for what?
Yeah, it's
I'm not
$60
even getting
here.
a physical copy. There is no disc.
Yeah, see, I got the physical copy, and I don't know why, because it's not like I'm going to sell it. Why the hell do I get the physical copy?
It's funny. I always buy physical copies for my consoles.
I do too. Yeah, I do too.
I don't know why that is, but I guess I just don't trust the console to,
Yeah, unless it's like something I grab on Games for Gold or whatever for free. But like, yeah, anything that I'm interested in buying, I get the physical copy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't have. Sorry, I don't have Amazon Prime or anything like that because I don't order enough through it, so I can't guarantee delivery like the day of release.
Yeah. That's mine's arriving Friday, October 28th. I'm looking at the receipt right now.
Me too, and my Apple Watch comes that day too. So.
Oh wow, cool.
So I can play Skyrim and play with my Apple Watch.
Yeah, so I got it for $47.99 before tax on Amazon dollars. So.
Oh, did you?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I did too, because you get the 20% off, right?
I forget what I think I did. I got some sort of discount.
You get the Prime discount. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a much better price though than the 60.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I got the Xbox with Battlefield 1 for $350. So, and that's the 1 terabyte version.
Oh, nice.
Okay. You got the S, right?
Yeah, the S one terabyte. Yep.
Yeah, I'm thinking I may see if I can save up some money and trade in one of my Xboxes and get the Scorpio.
Oh, when that comes out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Does that one that supports 4K like the PS4 Pro, right?
Yes, as well as the Oculus.
Right.
It's actually more powerful. It's basically Xbox just said, we're going to make the most powerful system that we can make and not have to upgrade it. Because I think they still are discussing doing upgradable consoles.
Interesting. Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, for going into the future, I have to say, I've now tried Oculus and Vive. I was out with my son and daughter-in-law and their 2 little kids. We were wandering around the mall down in Tampa and went into a Microsoft store. It had both of them, and I think the Vive is 10 times better.
Oh, really?
Okay. Oh, yeah. And I think all Xbox games, when you purchase games for Xbox, are good for PC and Xbox.
That's the claim, right? Yeah.
So that should be interesting. I may have to try that out.
Yeah, that's what Microsoft wants to bring it all together, I guess. So
yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah. The Vive was much better, a lot easier on the eyes.
So, oh, really? Much smoother.
I thought so, anyway.
I don't know if I'll ever be able to play those. It's hard enough for me to do first person, so I don't know if that's going to work.
AR is the actual thing of the future, not VR, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't like VR that much. At least when it comes to like 3D movies and stuff like that, because they basically the whoever's directing it is telling you what you need to focus on.
Yeah.
And that's the part that kind of bugs me because it gives me a headache trying to focus on something behind people or whatever,
I mean, part of the reason I think I might have been somewhat skewed towards the Vive is because they had the Vive set up where you could stand and use it with the controllers, and the Oculus was at a seated station. So when you get motion inside that thing and you're seated, it's very disorienting.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
And you have to you sort of get used to it fairly quickly, but then not too long after that, it starts to get annoying again.
Okay.
It's weird. It's really weird. You get that sort of the same kind of stomach lurch that you get when you go over like a big hump or something like that, in a car or something, and it's very disorienting.
Or when you jump off barge sleep.
Yeah, or when you jump off barge sleep. Same thing.
And then miss.
And there was blood all over the monitor. I couldn't figure out why, but
wasn't Andrew the one who always missed? Didn't he say he used to try
not really.
and he missed?
I've never missed.
I don't think I've ever missed either, but yeah.
I think I missed once because I just kind of walked off.
Oh yeah, you didn't jump off. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a little ledge somewhere in the middle and then you just crumple and.
Yeah, there's an overhang, so if you jump too early, you bounce your head into the top of that overhang and then fall off and
die.
Splat.
And I think if you run and jump, you can actually jump over the pool.
Oh, probably that, or like do a whirlwind sprint or something.
Oh,
there you
definitely.
go. That would do it for sure. Yeah,
that would probably be a bad idea.
that actually sounds like something I might have done.
Well, that was like the
I regret nothing except using whirlwind sprint.
Yeah.
That was like the leap of faiths in was it Assassin's Creed? The first one. Well, like in the first one, sometimes it didn't work, and then you would just end up jumping, which is not what you want to do.
Yeah.
I was listening to Game Talk, and what's it? So Jeremy and I think it was one.
Yeah.
So I was talking about Assassin's Creed, and what came free on Xbox was that Assassin's Creed China or something, and they were saying people say that this was awful. So I decided to prove them wrong, and sort of like I started playing Assassin's Creed China, and it's awful.
Aww.
Right? You know how people like because it's kind of like side scroller, and you're sort of like running along, and the combat is really, really simple. So what they decided to do to make it so the combat looks complicated is to make the controls really complicated.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So instead of you press A to attack and B to block and then C to jump over a target, you have to press forward and block, and then while you're blocking, press A so you jump over the target and hit from behind.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, that's just stupid.
Yeah.
You know? I got not very far. I think I got to the second mission or the third mission, something like that. And I was like, nope.
Well, if you're just if you're looking for some side scroller nostalgia, you want to play a really cool, fun little side scroller, look up Mark of the Ninja.
I've seen that. Yeah,
it's great.
I was going to get that.
Yeah, it's really good. Well worth it. Much better than the Assassin's Creed.
There you go. I did like the first. I think I liked the first one. I don't know. It's been so long. I don't remember which one I liked.
Yeah, I think the first one was our first introduction, and for me, it's always been just like I said with the Tomb Raider. It's just where you go into those cutscenes and it just automatically does all the actions for you. That's the part that I just kind of go, I don't like that.
Yeah. No, Brotherhood was really good, and Assassin's Creed 4 was really good.
Yeah, I think I have Black Flag.
That's 4, yeah.
That was one of the games with gold that they had. So I picked it up. I just haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, 3 and 5 weren't so great, and then Assassin's Creed 6 was fun. I didn't play a lot of it, but it's really good.
I heard 2 was actually really good too.
Yeah.
I enjoyed 2 a lot.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well. Now that we're on to Assassin's Creed.
The Skyrim Assassin's Creed hour.
So probably won't have an episode until the charity thing, unless I do a quick solo one next week. I'm not sure yet. So
we're not gonna have a squeep episode before the on the day it comes out.
Oh yeah. Well, that's true. It'll be out the day before, and.
You could make it like 5 minutes long and then just do about 15 minutes of commercials.
Yes, that's true. I have a bunch in my pocket that I could play. I could just say hello and thanks for listening, and here's all the commercials.
Yeah, perfect.
Jeremy's been going a little crazy with those.
Oh yeah, I know. In the beginning, yeah, that was hilarious. I was dying. Oh man, yeah, I was listening to that. That was good. So we'll be back on the 29th. The schedule should be up in probably the week of the charity event. So figure like the 22nd or something like that. We'll post the schedule over on the website, and it'll have the relatively close breakdown of what's going to go on. We'll have people on Twitch, people on the shows on YouTube, etc.
Right.
And let's see how it goes. I'm going to see if I can get my 360 downstairs here. See, I don't know if I can stream at the same time on the 360 though, because I'll probably have the one who has the Hangout open. So
that would be cool. You're thinking of streaming them both? You mean?
I was thinking of like breaking out Morrowind.
Oh, I was wondering if it would be fun to have somehow
that's a good idea.
Stream a comparison.
Yes, that's a great idea. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can set it up to do that. At least get my 360 set up to do that.
You have to flip back and forth or something.
You know what? I could probably run the Hangout on my laptop.
Well, you know what we could, if you want. I mean, I'll set up my Xbox One on my Twitch channel and just stream the new one if you want to stream the old one, and then people can just flip back and forth.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah,
right there and then or something.
Yeah, because I could do that. Yeah, we'll figure that out. That's a good idea to compare and contrast how they look and all that, how it feels.
Yeah,
maybe go through like the same quest line just to see the similar places or something.
Yeah, like do the opening sequence and run down to Riverwood or something.
Yeah,
and do Ember Shard Mine or whatever.
That's always a good place to hit.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be fun.
So we'll do a side-by-side comparison. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me. And
always a pleasure.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And 2 weeks, October 29th, the charity event. Check out all the details over at asapodcasting.com. And keep an ear out for Let's Play Skyrim this week. The Majors College starts up with Colin.
Yeah.
Right.
And how many episodes was that? How many did you have? Was it like 9 or something?
18.
18.
18, 19?
18, 19. That's it, yeah. You don't realize how long they are until you start doing them.
You might want to run the first one and the second one pretty close together because the first one just ends.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that. I did notice that. I was like, Colin just ended the show.
Yeah, so you can put something on the end of that, sort of like, slap a sticker on it or something. Sort of like, this is the end of the show. Later.
Oh, man. I just have to make a little blurb for the beginning. That's all. For what? For the charity thing, I think, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. All right. So that's all I have to do. I'll probably do that right after this and get that first one out, actually, probably today along with this. So, all right. I'm going to play the outro. Then we'll shut down the feed or whatever this thing is called, the stream, whatever. Thanks for listening to this episode of Skyrim Addict. You can find all of our contact information, YouTube channel information, as well as other shows over at asapodcasting.com, including our newest show, The Fallout Feed. Special thanks to Claire Lafar for the show's artwork. You can find her stuff at etsy.com/MayaFirePrints, MayaFirePrints. And a thank you to Dan Bull for the use of his music in the Roundtable Open and Close. You can find him on YouTube or iTunes. Just search Dan Bull. Once again, thanks for listening, and later, everyone.
Following total atomic annihilation, it may fall to you to save the great nation. That's why Voltec has made extra preparation and are proud to present to you a special education.
Would you like a very spiffy, brand new ASA podcasting t-shirt? Well, that's great because we have 2 brand new designs, one for a Skyrim Addict and one for the Fallout Feed over at etsy.com/shop/ASA podcasting.
Strength! Supply the spark, so on seeing something sweet, be sure to scan the